These are solutions to the math isolation evaluation quiz. All right, let's get started. To begin with, on the first problem, I had 5a plus 3a equals 18 minus a. So I need to combine like terms. So the like terms in this case are everything with an a. So that's 5a, 3a, and the a. My goal is to put a all by itself on one side of the equal sign. So let's start with the like terms, though. 5a plus 3a, that's going to equal 8a, and that equals 18 minus a. Now what I can do to move the a to the other side is do the opposite of what it's showing me. So it's minus a. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a to both sides. And when I do that, the negative a and the a, they're going to cancel each other out or add up to 0. So that's going to leave me with 9a is equal to 18. Now to isolate the 18, what I'm going to have to do, or isolate a, I'm going to divide both sides by 9 to get rid of the 9. So I'll divide by 9, divide by 9. And when I do that, that's going to leave me with a is equal to 2. All right, next problem. So next problem says negative 11 plus g squared plus 5 equals 10. So I'll combine my like terms. In this case, it's going to be things without coefficients or without variables next to them. So negative 11 plus 5, that's negative 6. That makes this, I'll write this as g squared minus 6 is equal to 10. Now I need to move the 6 to the other side. So what I'm going to do to accomplish that is I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So add 6 to the left side, add 6 to the right. 6 plus negative 6, well, that's going to be 0, so they're going to go away. That's going to leave me with g2, or g squared, is equal to 10 plus 6, which is 16. So to isolate the square, g squared, what I need to do is square root both sides. Remember, when doing this, whatever you do to one side, you got to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to square root the g squared and square root the 16, and that's going to tell me that g is equal to 4. Now, it's plus and minus 4, but in the instructions, it said just give me the positive root whenever there's a square root involved. So I'll leave it as 4. So let's look at the third problem. It's a fraction. 2 over 2 plus 1 is equal to 6 over d. So my first step is I want to try to simplify the denominator of the left-hand fraction. So that's going to become 2 divided by 3, which is equal to 6 over d. There are other ways to start, but that's how I'm choosing on this one. Next, what I'm going to do is I need to cross multiply, or means times extremes. So that's going to be 2 times d, which is 2d, 3 times 6, which is 18. Now, according to the rule of cross products, 18 equals 2d. So 18 equals 2d. Now to isolate d, what I'm going to do is divide both sides by 2. Since it's 2 times d, I'll just divide the right by 2 and the left by 2. And that leaves me with d is equal to 9. All right, so last one. 10 minus 2 times the square root of s plus 26 equals 7 times the square root of s. My goal is to get s all by itself on one side of the equal sign. To do that, I'm going to start with combining like terms. So my two terms that I'm looking at are things with the square root of s and things without a coefficient. So I've got 10 and I've got 26. So that's going to give me 36, and that's going to equal, that's going to be minus 2 times the square root of s is equal to 7 times the square root of s. Now I need to move 2 times the square root of s onto the other side. So to do that, I'm going to add 2 times the square root of s to both sides. 2 times the square root of s plus 2 times the square root of s to both sides. 2 square root of s, negative 2 square root of s, they're going to add up to 0, so they're going to go away. So on the left-hand side, that's going to leave me with 36. On the right-hand side, that's going to be 9 times the square root of s. Still trying to isolate s, so I'm going to divide both sides by 9. So I get closer to the s. So the 9's go away. That leaves me with, on the left-hand side, 4, and that equals the square root of s. To isolate s, what I need to do is square both sides. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you got to do the other side too. So I'll square both sides, and so that is going to leave me with the fact that s is equal to 16.